it's my absolute pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me. Obviously, as well, we're in a particularly busy period for you. So with that in mind, considering we are a little over a week from the release of the new album, what's the mindset like? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling overwhelmed by a lot of stuff to do, especially I'm taking a lot of interviews like the one with you. So I'm really proud about that. It means that the marketing department is working good. And we are looking forward to the release of the album, opening the pre-order in a couple of days. And also setting everything up for the release along with the third single with the video clip related.
A good busy then, basically busy, but it's good.
Yes, really, really good.
Have you? Are you still feeling the excitement around the record? Because of course you will have lived with this record for a while. You will have heard the songs over and over again to the point where you could almost get sick of them. Are you still enjoying the release period?
Yes, and that's kind of strange because usually you get tired of the song that you know so well because you created them. You spend years creating and crafting the stuff, and you spend months listening to the same stuff to catch every single detail that you can maybe improve. So I'm still listening on the car while driving and listening on Spotify, the two singles we already released, also because sometimes I found them in some playlists that I listen on repeat, and I still enjoy them. Usually, every single artist says that their latest work is the best one. In this case, in my opinion, we improve what we did before. So that was our first goal, to do something better and to improve ourselves on the musical part, and not only musical part, also on the contractual part. So we ended up signing with Rockshot Records.
Yeah. Obviously, you feel like that's that aspect of it, the contractual side of things, the business side of things. You feel like that has been an important step up for you.
Yes, in every case related to the contractual part, we are creating a good bond with the Rockshot Records, not only on the contractual part, on the musical side, but also personal. They are great guys. You can talk with them, and also on the communication side on our part, on the social media marketing stuff. So yes, it's an important stuff that an underground band like us needs to know and needs to improve every day, making new stuff, creating stuff. We are not a social influencer, but you have to create a mindset like them to keep the stuff moving and to let people reach you on your social stuff, which is hard for a musician because often is not the first thing that a musician think about. So I want to play. In my case, I play bass, and I had play bass for this album for a couple of hours during the recording stuff, and then only marketing stuff for me. So I had fun for 2 hours recording.
I mean, that side of it is so important. You notice now the social media aspect, and because of course you want to spread the band name out there, you want to get the music heard and so on. But it can be extremely hard work, and it can be not much fun. Are you able to find a way to make it fun for yourself?
Yeah, nice question. Yes, when we work together doing stuff for the marketing. For the marketing stuff, sorry. For example, just go out and take a beer and do some stuff with the phone. It became more enjoyable than just writing on the keyboard or using ChatGPT to create social announcement.
You got to make it as much fun as you possibly can, because ultimately, as well, we want to fall back on your enjoyment of making the music, creating an album, and spreading that word. Now, we have had 2 singles already, and the response to those has been very, very strong. Are you pleased with the general response so far to what's been heard?
Yes, because there were mixed response from the first to the second single, because the songs are quite different in the approach. The one is more symphonic, more heavy in some form for the guitar playing, and the other, the Jester Duplicity, the second is the fastest song on the album. We have the Ivan Adami as guest on the main vocals that sing along with our singer Eleonora. So some people enjoyed more the first single, Theater is My Essence. Other people that are more into extreme music enjoy more the second one. So it's fun to hear different approaches on the same band, on the same music.
It was interesting. Oh, sorry.
Our goal was to create something that was cohesive in the album, so you can recognize the style from the first on the second single, but the songs are quite different among themselves.
Yeah, there is a common thread. It's not like they're completely two opposite songs that don't even sound like the same band, or that they would exist on the same album. There is that common thread in between. And I think that's so important, because a fair amount of people did pick up on that. Even as you said, if it wasn't necessarily the first single wasn't someone's favorite compared to the second, it seemed like the majority of people were able to recognize this was clearly the same band. It was clearly what you were doing in this album.
Yes, beside the vocals that are more recognizable.
Of course, of course. So then, speaking of the album as a whole, then, and going back to the earliest stage of its creation, did you have a vision, a clear vision for what you wanted this record to be?
Yes, completely. We lined up all the ideas, me and the guitar player Omar, and we had a wall with some sheets hanged with all the writings that was the structure of the album. Because the whole theme of the album is the female character on the history of Western theater, from ancient Greek tragedy passing through the Shakespeare from England, some medieval stuff from France, some Italian stuff in the 18th centuries, up to the Second World War with the American theater. That was the idea. Is a place that was made with the theater company of Eleonora. So Eleonora is an actress before being a singer. So she gives us the hints, and then we created this stuff. So everything was placed before even creating the music.
How did you decide? I mean, did you narrow it down to eras and characters? Because ultimately, an album built around female characters and in the history of Western theatre, that's a wide and open idea. There's a lot you can draw from. So narrowing it down to the ones that, did you just find that you found ones that worked for you?
We have to ask this question to Eleonora, because she's the theater mind behind that. But her director of the theater company is huge passionate on theater. She works in a huge theater in Milan, and she knows very well the history. So we spoke a lot with her, and we designed and Taylor designed the lyrics with the director. I think that there are some choices that could have been considered strange. For example, the lyrics of the second single, "The Jester Duplicity," is taken from a medieval Sicilian from South Italy plays about a jester that is in love with a noble woman. So we have the jester played sang by Ivan Adami, and the noble woman by Eleonora. But in the theater community, let's say, Cielo d'Alcamo is well known because he's one of the first users of the contrasto, in which the main character, the jester, plays in theater both roles, the woman and the jester. And for example, Shakespeare, in which I can tell you a little spoiler, is the theme of the third single that will came out the 8th of November with the song "The Sleepless King," is about Lady Macbeth from the well-known plays Macbeth. That was almost mandatory because Eleonora loves that plays. So she said, if we do this, one song is about Macbeth and I will sing about Lady Macbeth. Perfect. Done.
It's easy as that. Did any suggestions come your way that when it came to writing the music, creating a song, and embodying that sense of theatre, did you find that, okay, this character or this story didn't work, you couldn't quite get it together, so you had to put it to the side?
Not about the lyrics, but more about the music. We changed some song during the process. We switched some song because we thought it fitted more for another type of lyrics. And one song was completely rewritten during the process because it doesn't came out correctly, in our opinion, with the lyrics. And I can tell you is the sixth song, The Voice of Awareness, which is about the doll's house from Ibsen, from Norway theater, at the end of 1800 and 1900, among the change of centuries.
It's incredible the depth of like the depths you've gone to with this album in regards to the detail and the storytelling, and of course capturing that sense of theatre, because it's easy to say it. It's easy to go, okay, well, we have this vocalist, we have this artist, we have this thought process, but actually embodying that in the album is very, very difficult. How much trouble did you have as a group for yourselves getting that sense of theatre in your head for it to come through in the album?
The difficulty was only about writing the lyrics, because musically we worked together. We had some ideas on how to improve from the previous album, and it was almost natural. Me and Omar works a lot together. Paul did a couple of songs on his own. Paul is the lead guitarist, on his own, that were already fitted in the style. But about the lyrics, me and Eleonora studied a lot. We read all the plays, the script of the plays, and we went to theater together, watching some of those plays to better understand how to put in lyrics the thematic. For example, on The Voice of Awareness, there is the emancipation of the woman. It was the first theater plays that relies on the woman that leaves the house. So it was very important on the history of theater, on the Western theater. So we wanted in the lyrics that this important stuff came out. And I think we did a good job on that, not only on that song, but the difficulty was to write around the themes and put it in music.
It almost seems like an impossible task because, as you said yourself, a lot of these plays were written in a certain time, a certain period. Translations are difficult, terminology and nuances. It's so easy to get let lost. So obviously you go and watch them and experience them. I guess that gave you a different insight that allowed you to almost, I don't know, feel it maybe more.
For example, for the Garden of Despair is based on a Russian theater. You have to talk about nobility that was going down, and the people from the lower classes came out and became more free. So you have to speak about that. You have to condense a huge part of history into maybe a phrase, maybe a verse, and make it understandable for those who, read the lyrics. And also you have to make it in metric in a song. So it was quite difficult. But what led us to write those were the passion. So we were passionate about those lyrics, those themes. And especially Eleonora created some thematics, some point to follow. And all the vocal lines were written by her. So she knows better than us how to sing it. In my opinion, she put a lot of herself in the singing of this album.
Simply incredible, and I think all of this comes through strongly when you hear the record, particularly the thematics of it and how it flows, and the fact that it doesn't feel like, while it is of course individual stories, it is also a flowing album. It does from beginning to end tell its own story and puts your mind in those places. I think that's so important, particularly in this world where distractions around us all the time. So to get to focus on something up throughout history that perhaps for a lot of people, they will not know as much. It's educational, not just for the listener, but clearly for yourself as well.
It's an anthology. You can pick any single song and listen to the song, and it lives properly by itself. But if you take the whole picture of the album, you will have something that is coherent, and you can follow through time. That's why the title of the album. And you can find the history of theater, which time with all the dots, the acronym is theater is my essence.
And I love that acronym. It was fabulous when I realized that's what it was. And of course, it is out in the 8th number. What does it mean for you to release this record? Because clearly I can tell you're incredibly proud of what you've accomplished here.
Yes, because the proudness, can I say proudness?
Why not?
Came also to create something that we deeply believe in and we deeply wanted in living our lives in a parallelly. I mean, we have to go on with the family, we'll go on with the work, with the job. We all have a day job, but we wanted to create something and put on the market online, so everyone can listen. So this is something that we did in a difficult period of time. I hope that a lot of people will like it, and also we did it as we wanted. For example, the cover artwork of the album was created by Giannis Nakos from Remedy Art Design, which is a well-known artist that creates cover for the biggest band you have in the heavy metal scene, like Camelot, Evergrey,
gorgeous,
amazing bands. It was really, really kind with us, and he did, in my opinion, something better than I ever thought. So he could create the atmosphere of the theater, keeping the woman that we had in all our cover artwork. So that's a fulfillment of what we did in music, also in the graphic experience.
Isn't it just wonderful when it works out that way, that you work with an artist who doesn't just capture your vision, but broadens it?
He expanded it.
It is incredible artist as well. You mentioned that you hope people like the album, but what do you overall hope listeners take away? So they hear the album, and what do you hope they feel?
It depends on the song they are listening. My hopes are that is that they will read the lyrics and maybe get a little bit of interest in the theater plays that we adapted in the music. So they follow all the album, enjoy the music, and maybe go on Wikipedia and read what is about the theater plays that inspired us. To have the same complete vision we had to transmit it to the listener. About the music, I hope that everyone loves the heavy sound of our 7-string guitars and my amazing five bass. Just joking, but we have different influences in the musical parts. So Norman, the drummer, comes from the deathcore scene. He plays with Defamed. So we wanted him to bring some of the extreme stuff he plays into our more melodic stuff to create a mix of both world into the heavy metal scene, keeping the melodic part of all the vocal harmonies of Eleonora, because we rely a lot on the vocal harmonies. Mm-hmm. And I hope people enjoy that. Those who likes melodic heavy metal will find a lot of good stuff to maybe analyze, because we metalheads usually don't hear the music, but we listen to the music and we grab it, everything we like, and dissect him and try to find every single detail we can.
We do, and thankfully, T.I.M.E is one of those albums where dissecting not only is easy, but it becomes a fun process as well, and it's one that that can be done over a longer period of time. In no way, shape, or form is this an album where you would listen to it once and then move on. There's far too much detail and far too much digging to be done.
Thank you. Thank you.
But of course, we want this to be successful as well. And while who knows what that looks like overall, because how success is measured these days, in your opinion, what would success for this record look like for you?
I think that just being reviewed by a lot of international webzine, paperzine, everything you want, is going to be a huge success, because the scene is very saturated. So if you just for me now speaking with you and explaining the album is a huge win for me, but reaching more people with the reviews, hopefully good reviews, that the paper writer can enjoy our album, is a huge win. The scene is saturated. There are a lot of good stuff coming out every day. So reaching the more people with the reviews is a good point nowadays. And also we are planning something maybe next year to play some lives. Not during the winter, but we will wait for spring, and to of course present something live too. But it's not our first goal to play live now at the moment, because it's very difficult to play here in Italy.
It is. It's not just the release windows that's oversaturated. The live calendar, in particular, say this particular period running to the end of 2024 in the UK alone, it is insane. Like the amount of shows that are currently going on. Well, it's great to sort of see. Ultimately, it makes it very difficult for smaller, more independent bands to kind of get a foot in there. All we can do and hope is to talk about you, to spread the word of this album. November 8th, it's out, 2024, via Rockshot Records, and hopefully get as many ears on it so that next year you're in a position to kind of maybe play live if you so choose. But aside from that, what's a realistic goal that you would perhaps like to achieve over the next year?
Well, besides selling some of the over the next year, maybe spread more the free video clips we have, 2 for now and one on the 8th, and one more on the 8th of November on YouTube, because I think that the visual part is important, and video clip for a smaller band like us, it's a good way to make ourselves known more because you can see us, not just listen. And we have Eleonora, which is better than me to see.
Well put, absolutely. But ultimately, it's just another way to experience you. And when the album is out, hell, it's going to be available everywhere, and it's well worth checking out. Daniel, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I really appreciate it.
I really thank you for having me and Marble on your channel. Thank you for your time. I hope that everything is good for you, and I hope people will come to listen our new album, T.I.M.E, as you said, out on 8th of November on Rockshot Records. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at GBHBL. Just search for GBHBL and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.